I'm excited to announce that I've joined the Creator Accountability Network. CAN is a nonprofit dedicated to reducing harassment and abuse through ethical education and a system of restorative accountability. I joined because I care about the safety and well being of my community members. If you feel my behavior or content has harmed someone, please report it to CAN either via the reporting form on their website, creatoraccountabilitynetwork.org, or via their hotline at 617 249 4255. They'll help me make it right and avoid repeating that mistake in the future. CAN also needs volunteers from our communities to help with their work. So if you have skills you think would be helpful or time and a desire to help, please visit their website to find out how you can volunteer. Most importantly, get the word out to other creators who think who th- who you think would be interested in getting credentialed. Help us build safer communities together. All right. I'm Brantley. This is the Punk Apostate. Let's go. It's like one of them days, man. One of them days. It's like every freaking thing that can go wrong. All right. No, it's cool. We're good now. Everything's fine. Hopefully, we'll see. But so yeah, Kipp Davis has a new book. So I thought it'd be appropriate and I got it. Look, hold on, let me make this screen big. Check it out. God's Propaganda. It's a big book, dude. Like this thing is like the size. It's bigger. I was gonna say it's the size of my. I think it's bigger than my head. I think slightly. Only I got a pretty big head. But it. I think it outsizes my head even. So, God's Propaganda. Get it. It's a book. You should order it. It's on Barnes and Noble. Just wherever you can get it. I think it's on Amazon too, bro. But I don't know. I actually didn't check about that. But it's on Barnes and Noble for goddamn sure. That's where I got it from. And if you have a Barnes and Noble in your town, you can go there and buy it there, and they will have it sent to your house. That's what they did for me because I thought that I'd be able to go and see the book there, but turns out no, they they're like, no, we have to send it to you. I was like, all right, fine. So they sent it to me. So it was cool. And I signed up for their book thing now. So now I can get discounts and stuff when I buy books. It's I need to be buying more books anyway. So it's actual books that I could sit down and read instead of just always half listening to them as I'm doing other things. Anyway. All right. So I thought it'd be kind of fun to check out. Oh, look, some video here is promoting some. Oh, there. Oh, look at that. Oh, okay, it is on Amazon. Look at that. See, um, look at that. It's Dr. Kipp Davis selling his book.
Yeah. So on those 20 floors down, and it's not a fast elevator. It's actually an old hotel. You're a biblical scholar. You can't afford a nice hotel.
I can't.
No. Nor can I. So on this really terrible elevator down that's going to take 60 seconds, what would you pitch this book as? Also,
let's hear it. Let's hear it, Dr. Kipp. Let's do it.
Like, what is this? What are you trying to do?
Elevator.
And then also consider that you just so happen to be at SBL, and but it's right between SBL and ETS. And so I'm actually
I don't know what any of these letters mean, but
you don't know if I'm a biblical scholar, or I'm an or I'm like ETS bound, or like you don't know. Yeah. So you're trying to think about that as well.
Oh no! So wow, that's a lot to think about.
Yeah, yeah.
So and you want the elevator pitch for that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
let's hear the drunk, the Scotch induced elevator pitch. Let's hear it.
Book is about how to read and how to understand biblical texts against their historical cultural background and in view of what writers were trying to do with those biblical text. So I'm writing from the perspective that these are interested, invested writers who have their own ideas and agendas in place that they're applying to the sources that they have in order to create this thing we call the Bible. But they're not all living at the same time and in the same place. So it's really kind of an exploration of these ideas starting, at basically the late Bronze Age, early Iron Age, when you start to see the emergence of Israel through the kingdom's period and into the exile. The last chapter is actually my homage. It's my apocalyptic literature chapter.
Okay, yeah.
My exhibit.
Okay, David said my elevator pitch on the stream I did with Dr. Josh last week was, so we are doing doctor first names. Okay, cool. Because I just want to make, because I always say Dr. Kipp, and I'm like, I don't know if that's annoying. Like, is that annoying? It's Dr. Ben got me into doing that. Anyway, all right. So Dr. Kipp said that Dr. Josh and him had a conversation, and the elevator pitch on that one was way better. And well, that's probably because Scotch wasn't involved, right? Like this says that's the Scotch, right? That's
like my exilic Judaism chapter, really. So
okay,
but yeah, and it's based on
either way. That sounds awesome. Like I'm just, the whole thing is fascinating, just from the idea that, like, the way I was raised, it was like the Bible was this very specific thing, and it was written like for Christians. You know what I mean? That was like how you think about it. And it's like, oh no, this is God, right? Writing his love letter, his like horrific, bloodthirsty, psychotic love letter. That's more like a stalker letter or something. Anyway, but so hearing it from that perspective is kind of cool, because you're like, no, there's all the people that wrote this stuff all had different agendas, and they had all these different ideas about like what they want to convince people of, or like what they think people should be doing based on whatever, but it's like their subjective interpretations of, like, the texts and stuff like that is kind of cool. Like, or what they're not subjective interpretive, like what they want to communicate through the text. It reminds me a lot of, like, in the New Testament, you have like the four gospels, and like each gospel seems to always want to like make Jesus something else. They like one makes him want to be one wants him to be like perfect according to like Jewish law and things like that, and then others are like, now he goes against it. So I can kind of see it from that perspective, but I don't even know what that would look like for the Old Testament. So I'm fascinated to check this out. But
very heavily based on an article that I wrote and published in 2014.
You publish articles?
Yeah, I do it. So I know you never read any of my stuff.
No, I know. Dead Sea Scrolls are really boring.
Yeah, that's how I feel.
The Dead Sea Scrolls are boring, man. They're like really old.
About your stuff. So yeah, it's, we just sit here and talk shit about each other. We don't actually read each other.
No.
But it's actually based very heavily on an article that I wrote in 2015. And published with the Journal of Religion and Popular Culture. Which is published by the University of Toronto.
Okay, yeah.
But the title of the article was
it's a Canadian article. Do those count, Kevin? Those don't count as our actual articles, right? That we don't count those here. That's just, sorry. It's an American thing. If you're not American, you're barely a person, really. I mean, according to our government and everything.
Zombies in America and a Qumran. The Dead Sea Scrolls, the AMC's The Walking Dead, the Dead Sea Scrolls, and Apocalyptic Redux.
Actually, I haven't.
Have you read that?
I think you sent it to me a long time ago.
Yeah. So it's one of my favorites things that I've written. And I've done basically like I've used 20th century zombie film, mostly focused on The Walking Dead when it was still good. Before season.
I'm glad you included that while it was still good. Before it got crazy.
6 or 7 or whatever. that
Yeah,
was.
I gave up around there.
Yeah. That's when I gave up too.
I don't know when I gave up, but I did give up.
But I was still writing the article when it was still good.
I got to
Right.
Negan. I don't know.
Yes,
Did you see
that's-
Negan?
I saw Negan, and then and
Negan
then I
takes
watched.
out Glenn, and it's like, all right, fair enough.
I actually watched the rest of that entire season, and
Okay.
I was done. But
Okay.
but the you know, I was looking
Jesus.
at
No, okay, what? That's the name of. Hold on. Dr. Kipp's Zombies in America and at Qumran, AMC's The Walking Dead, The Dead Sea Scrolls, and Apocalyptic Redux. Redux? Do I pronounce the X in the Redux? I don't know how to pronounce Redux.
how the ethos and the worldview and the narrative within the show, The Walking Dead, compares and contrasts with a lot of things that we see within the Dead Sea Scrolls. And I focused on 4 features of what I identify aspects of apocalypticism. There's this focus on living at the end of the age and being in.
Kipp said, it might be my favorite article, but I think the chapter I wrote for the book is even better. Hell yeah.
The last days and anticipating the end of the world. There is a focus on ritual purity, and that was maybe my favorite part of the article to write, just because it's really interesting looking at ritual purity as a lens for The Walking Dead. Right?
Yeah.
And then I looked at what was the third one? Oh, it was exile and nomadism. And then I looked at insider outsider polemics and discourses. So as a way to try to understand what's happening in the Dead Sea Scrolls, what's happening in early Judaism. One of my reviewers who read the book said this was his favorite chapter. He was really excited about it. He said that he's, as someone who has actually written about apocalypticism before, he's like, I've never. He said, I've never seen it explained that way, and the lights just went on, and it was so. If
anybody out there, so obviously,
oh yeah, that sounds awesome. Yeah, I can't wait to start. Really like boy. I like I opened it up. I found the penis part, which is amazing. We kind of went over it with when Kipp was on the show for a minute. We like and I was showing it to Nikki, and it's like, of course I couldn't read it when it was when it was on the show. But it was like the introduction is called "Cutting the Grass Around the Giant Space Penis," which I appreciated that. Nikki was like, "What is that? What is it about?" I don't know. I still have to read it. I don't know. God's penis, probably, maybe as seen by Isaiah. I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. It could be.
This is going to go out to Kipp's channel. It is on Kipp's channel, and then I'll put it on mine as well. We couldn't link it because of stupid reasons with
stupid reasons with StreamYard.
With StreamYard.
Goddamn StreamYard. Kevin, get on the StreamYard thing. What is going on? Quit fucking up StreamYard, man. Jesus Christ.
So if anyone's from my world, and not necessarily from Kipp's world, all those things should be kind of like ringing bells. Those ideas when you read the New Testament, when you
absolutely
when you decide, especially if you read something like the Book of Revelation, which is apocalyptic in genre, so it's a type of literature that we see that kind of fizzled out after a while.
I was just like watching a thing where they were saying that like the Book of Revelation was like added as like an accident because they thought that the writing was from the Apostle John. But it turned out it was from a completely different John. It was just John's a popular name. I guess it's always been a popular name. But and so they put it in the Bible because they thought, they're like, oh, it's got to be good, even though it's just like insane rantings, ravings of a lunatic, who's caged on an island. But they were like, oh man, but it's the Apostle John, so they got to be great. Ravings of a lunatic, right? It's got to be.
In some ways, like in like the ancient sense. I mean, you're taking The Walking Dead. We can still, these things live on. These ideas and tropes live on, but as a type of literature, your brains should be firing the synapses of, hey, this is what we see in some things in the Old Testament, in the New Testament, and it's actually really important to be able to understand.
It's about the weirdness of religion. Well, you got a lot you can work with there. That's a pretty broad category. Hell yeah.
This way of thinking to understand certain things going on at especially the end of the Hebrew Bible, as in like the latest parts of the Hebrew Bible, and then into the New Testament. And so like myself, I know this isn't a popular opinion in some evangelical circles. I do think that probably the book of Daniel is, as it is now, a later compilation or a later.
How dare you? No. It was written a century prior to whenever the hell you think, and it actually did predict all of those future kingdoms and everything way before they knew it was going to happen, because magic.
Document.
It's because you've gone to an actual school and got an actual PhD, and
I mean, well, it's not just the school. So I don't want to put it as ideological, in the sense of like you go to a school and you come up with an opinion.
No,
but it's for me, it's actually data driven. It's like within the text itself.
Exactly.
That's what school does, right? Like it provides you the data driven perspectives it's funny that he's saying that. Like, I don't want to make it like it's an ideological thing, because that's the way the right sells it. You know, they're like, you go to college and then all of a sudden you come back a godless liberal or whatever, you know, or a progressive or whatever. I was going to say like liberal, whatever, but progressive. You come back progressive, and they hate that, but it just ends up being the case because, you know, you learn about stuff and you interact with people that aren't white, straight, cisgendered fucking Christian people only.
The text doing, what kind of literature is it? We know that this kind of literature wasn't earlier on, unless you think maybe Isaiah with like 25 and stuff like this, kind of like pseudo.
Kipp, is this your place, or is this or is this your buddy's place?
Or early apocalyptic ideas.
Who snowboards? Is that do you snowboard? Like who does that? That shit's hard. The things, you know, look, and you could see the little boot things here. It's stuck to your feet. It's not like a skateboard where you can push, you know, with your other foot. You can't. You try to push because it's an automatic reflex when you're used to skateboarding, and then you just fall. It's bullshit.
But it does seem to be a type of literature emerging in the third. I guess it depends when you date Zechariah. The stuff in Zechariah. Yeah. I don't know when you date that. Yeah. But at least like beginning 3rd century, 4th, maybe 4th century, whatever. So it does seem to be later, and then especially when you get into what Daniel actually talks about, the events seem to be referring to 2nd century matters, and especially with what goes on with the Maccabees and Antiochus Epiphanes. And to me,
the Maccabees is the Hanukkah thing. That's all I know. I know that because of a Friends episode where Ross dresses up like a giant armadillo. Anyway,
that actually isn't so. I'm a seminary professor. If you didn't know that, so I don't have a problem with this when it comes to like the inspiration of the Bible or the Bible being a source of truth or whatever. Because to me,
oh cool, Kipp, that it is okay. It is Kipp's place. Awesome. Oh yeah. So 3 of those are my snowboards. The small one is my son's first sport. Oh hell yeah, that's awesome. Taking him out snowboarding, getting him started. Yeah, I get it.
It just depends on what this author's trying to do and what this genre's even
gets them used to, like having broken bones real young. It's a good idea, you know. Just it toughens them up quick.
I'm trying to do. So there's a really great. I'm trying to remember who it was. There was actually a really great Twitter thread. I think it was actually, he's been in the news. Andrew Rilera. He's got that book on atonement that just came out. The Lamb of the Free, and it was being passed around on Twitter. You didn't see that? About the atonement? About penal substitutionary atonement? No.
Holy shit. So the board on the left is a 165 CM racing board. Holy shit. So I got it from a buddy who used to do professional border cross. Is that what this is called? Border cross with it. That's crazy. Hell yeah. That's awesome. It is pretty. It does look racy, I have to say. Out of all of the ones, that one said it's the far left. Yeah, the one on the left. Yeah, the tallest one. They're arranged by size. You know, they got it's from tallest to shortest, right?
In any case, I think he actually had a long tweet session with somebody.
Like a theology book?
No, he's like critical New Testament scholar.
Oh, but it was New Testament stuff.
Yes,
right. Yeah,
yeah, and penal substitutionary atonement. But he actually most of the book is on Leviticus.
Oh,
So he's
nice.
taking the Levitical system
Yeah.
and saying, what are the sacrifices meaning in Leviticus, as far as we can tell?
Mhm.
And then if that's true, what I'm saying, what does that mean about Jesus' sacrifice? And is his sacrifice a substitutionary, penal substitutionary death?
This is something I think I'd be interested in. I made a video critiquing. Well, the way I guess I made a video once critiquing the way apologists like to talk out of two sides of their mouths when it comes to the atonement.
Mm-hmm.
So, which irritates me.
Yeah.
Where
Yeah.
on the one hand, they want to hold to a like a forensic
Mm-hmm.
view
Mhm.
of the atonement, but then they're very uncomfortable with following that all the way through
Mhm.
into the the literature and how the Old Testament, how the book of Leviticus actually develops that, or how that looks, and how what it's based on, what it pulls from. It's uncomfortable. It's very uncomfortable.
It's exceedingly hard to
I don't-
get to a forensic idea from Leviticus and the sacrificial system there. I don't think that that's the best way forward for that approach. Yeah, and I think sacrifices are functioning in a very different way than it's often thought. And I'm not like alone here. Like even guys like Watch the Bible Project, like Tim Mack.
Because like I mean I don't know exactly what you mean by forensic forensic sacrifice. Is that what I'm getting here? But the way that I guess we're talking about like the way that like Jesus and stuff is supposed to be like the ultimate sacrifice, just like all the animals that they had to kill and stuff back in the day, and burn their carcasses or whatever and all that stuff. And it's like Jesus is like was the one to finish it all or whatever. Like that's what you get a lot of fun. But I could totally see how that would be so obviously just made up after the fact. It's in so much of like the Jesus story just feels like it's just shoehorned together. Like they're just like, he was supposed to be crucified. That's what, I know we didn't expect it, but that was good. Yeah, because he was the sacrifice was just like a lamb. He was just like the lamb that we do. It was like it just felt like it was just made up after the fact, like just trying to rationalize around why they didn't have a military leader that came and magicked their asses out of the Roman occupation or whatever.
Or something.
Right.
Like he's on the same page. We have to rethink. So this isn't just like some out there idea. This is very much like, what is this text getting at, and how the New Testament appropriating it. But that's besides the point. We went into penal substitution. But Andrew has this book, and he also had.
Hey, how's everybody doing? Everybody all right? Sorry, it took me a minute. It's got to get acclimated here. It's been a minute, I feel like, since I've done one of these. All right, who won today? Let's see who won. My money's on Pandora, but sometimes I can be surprised. Nope, it's praise. It's Pandora's video. Of course it is. What's going on, man? And then second, we got Drusilla just coming in early. Wow. And then I was late. It's I blame you, Drusilla. Like you being too early was the reason I was too late. That's what that is. Okay, it's all your fault. And Jessica was third. How's it going, Jessica? Jessica did like a million. Wow. Okay. A lot of emojis here. A lot of emojis going on with this one. Jesus Christ. Wow. They were just cycling through all of them. Is that what it is? It's like, I'm going to do every single emoji available here. And some. Let's see what else is here. Got some weirdo commenting on his own stream. What kind of loser does that? That's stupid. Totally lame. You don't do that. That's like wearing your own band t-shirt at your own show. You don't do that. Okay. You don't comment. Anyway. Now everybody that does this is like, hold on, I do that. But I can sometimes I'm on the stream and somebody else is talking and then I can talk to the chat. You're not supposed to do that? No, it's fine. I'm just kidding. It's a joke. Okay. APC. How we doing? We also got, of course, we got Dr. Kipp. How we doing, man? Oh, yeah, it's sweet. Who else we got? We got Baba. How we doing, Baba? Wait, where is it? Where'd Baba go? Oh, there we go. Baba said, hey, what's up? We've got Ember. Hey, Ember. How we doing? Blame Dr. Ben. It's all Dr. Ben's fault. That's right. Now I am incapable of doing doctor and last names. Yes, it is absolutely Ben's fault. Hey, how's it going, Andrew? What's up, man? Doing all right? Good. And let's see. Oh, we got JT. What's up, JT? Doing all right? Maya. Hey, Maya. What's up? Yep, that is Dr. Kipp. That is exactly who it is. And we got Phil. What's up, Bill? Or Bert. Either way, I'm not really sure which direction they go with the name there. But, and we got Weed Bro. What's up, Weed Bro? Doing all right. Jumping to say what's up. Jumping in to say what's up, punks. That's us. We're the punks. That Weed Bro saying what's up to. All right. I think that's it. All right, cool. Here we go.
The tweet, that's where we're going back to Daniel. And he was just talking through, and it just was really awesome, I thought, on how it seems like right away the reception history of Daniel within the first, right after it was, if it's from the 2nd century in its form that we have it, at least, it was, they didn't really care about whether or not like these are predictions that are coming true, so to speak. It was picked up as something else. It became something else. And so the question is, what was this literature even trying to do, right? And so I even think, so it's trying to...
That is so funny. I feel like that is something that you have to ask all the time with the Bible. What is this literature even trying to fucking do? I don't even know what does the literature think the literature is doing right now? I don't think it knows. I don't, what the...
To cast a vision for empires, for world,
Yes.
for the incoming of God's kingdom. I don't know if it actually cares as much about particulars, as in the particulars are representative of a larger macro kind of narrative. And so I would actually argue the same thing for the book of Revelation, right?
Yep.
Because Revelation is doing the same thing. There's stuff in Revelation that is directly related to the 1st century. So you get like the when it talks about there's one of the beasts is injured and then comes back to life. And
yeah, it appears to be taken out, but then it comes back to life. And that was like a big point that my church would always make. It appears now it's a lie, because I don't know why they had to make it like it was a lie, because immediately after they were like, and that's when Satan enters his body, and then the Antichrist becomes Satan. And, Satan's just got a brand new Antichrist suit. That's all. Just an Antichrist skin suit for the devil. And, but it's like, okay, then why couldn't he just die and come back then? If he's possessed by the devil afterwards, why the hell is him dying such a problem?
And most, even evangelical scholars will say that's about this myth in the 1st century that Nero would come back to life. The Nero
revive us?
Yeah.
God.
And it really does seem like
it's like a third term for Trump. It's just like, a myth that is just like, that better not happen. Oh my God, that guy sucks, and he's might come back to life. We don't know. The prophecy.
Riffing on this idea that was in the culture, in the milieu of all these different communities in the 1st century Greco-Roman world. But it's not just doing that like, oh, and then that's it. It's taking it and going, I want you to think about this idea and then like cast a vision for what it looks like to be people in this life or death, end of the world scenario, and how that informs how you think about God in the world. So if you think about it that way, I don't know, like there's no issue here. If you're to wear whatever dating you want to land on Daniel, it doesn't actually matter.
So Lorenzo De Tomaso, Canadian scholar.
I haven't even looked at the
chat.
Yeah.
You could tell by that name. Canadian, absolutely.
Oh, or do you feel like there's things that you need?
That's a Canadian name right there.
Need to...
No, I don't know. I just haven't looked.
So
I thought there is Nitty. Hi, Nitty. I always show up on yours. So hello.
Oh, look.
Oh, Nitty's there. Oh, yeah. Nitty's great.
Lawrence is here. When are you having me over? I mean, right now. Come on over, Lawrence. Just the door's open. You can come on in.
Where's JT said, it was obvious what the Bible was trying to do when it came to the talking donkey. It wanted God wanted to deal with Disney. That's right. Well, that would have been DreamWorks, probably, right? But I mean, I guess it would.
Where's Lawrence from?
Milwaukee.
Oh,
I
I thought
think,
I thought it was-
Milwaukee Atheists.
Oh,
So,
I missed it. Yeah,
yeah,
Come
it's-
on over. Yeah.
absolutely. Everybody's welcome to come over. Honestly, I'm serious. I'm serious about that. Just
You just got to make it to Chilliwack.
just come on in. That's right. If you can find where that is, and you can get here,
Not usually on maps.
usually not. So Lorenzo Di Tommaso talks about, and this is the way I like to talk about apocalypticism. And we understand apocalyptic through literature like the Book of Daniel, through the little apocalypse in Isaiah, and then lots of stuff in the Dead Sea Scrolls and in the New Testament. But this is representative of a worldview. Apocalyptic is a worldview, and that's
The view that the world's going to end, and they got to make like a bunker too, right? They got a lot of canned goods going on. They got, they're probably a Bible believing Christian as well. They seem to always line up with that. A lot of guns. They always said that's the worldview, right?
don't understand what's happening in the literature until you understand the worldview. It's this grander idea.
Got attacked. How we doing? What's going on? Looking good. You're looking good there.
About these forces of good and evil, cosmic forces that are embroiled in this eternal conflict. At some point, and things are getting progressively worse and worse and worse, to the point that in the last days, at the very end, God's going to finally intervene and wipe out the enemies of whoever the apocalypticists are. It's persecution literature. It's a worldview born of persecution, and he's going to vindicate them. But the way
it's, when everybody's in Las Vegas and they get a hold of that nuke, right? And then the trash can man, he gets the nuke. And then right when they're about to like figure out how to use the nuke, the hand of God comes down, grabs the nuke, and just drops it right on their face, just right on Randall Flagg's dumbass. You know what I mean?
that this gets expressed in literature is through.
Well, that's different. I'm sorry. That's different. That's a different apocalypse. I'm sorry.
History. And that's very important within apocalyptic texts to present this view of world history.
Up Anarchic Fox, how you doing, man? Said, did someone summon a Canadian? The maple syrup pentagram has brought me. It is kind of close to a pentagram, isn't it? That's but that would be a great symbol for a band. Remember how like him had like the pentagram, but it was like a heart. It was like the heartogram, the mapleogram. That would be a good, a Canadian metal band. It really needs to lean into that
as a means of showing how everything has been kind of under the direction and control of this
Canadian
supremely powerful.
Canadians don't fight. Okay, they apologize to each other, just without even having done anything to each other. They just feel badly that they're supposed to fight and apologize for that.
Like cosmically imperial kind of God figure. And it's all just working out as it's supposed to until the point in the last days at the very end when he's finally going to intervene and fix everything. So it's really important to understand that as like the impetus behind these texts that we read. So all that to say, yeah, I agree with you that it's not about predicting the future. It's not even about getting the history right, whatever that means or meant for them, so much as it's meant to show that God's in control and these things have all happened.
Wait a second. So they weren't writing it to expect people to be waiting for stuff, like just waiting to see what's going to happen. Like, the book says there's going to be a red heifer. Okay. So there's a red one right there and it's in the right spot and everything. Like that wasn't the intent when they were writing it.
Which continue to point towards us living in this period now, because all apocalyptic literature is written from the perspective that, the people who wrote it believed that they were basically on the brink, that they're sitting, just on the edge. We're in the last day.
I said wrong. I started a fight with Okay, Acadian, that's an alien. That's not even, those aren't even real, dude. Okay, that's from like Deep Space Nine or some shit. Anyway, Acadian class last week with a fellow Canadian. It was a hockey stick fight? That is the one way the Canadians do fight, with hockey sticks. That's right. It's and it gets pretty crazy.
God's coming back, and redemption is happening any minute now. So that's
Yeah, and I think we could probably,
Lord.
just in case people are wondering,
Shit.
because someone might be out there thinking and confused
Raymer Biggs, how we doing? What's going on? Raymer Biggs, how you doing?
way. Wait,
Beaver.
is Daniel, parts of Daniel, I should say, with all the symbolic stuff in the kingdoms and Revelation and
The Four Kingdoms specifically is what it's called.
parts of Enoch, are these that those texts are not equal to apocalyptic worldview? This is like a literature born out of that worldview.
yes.
But the world, you can find apocalyptic thought in Paul. You can find apocalyptic thought in things that aren't these specific texts. So just so people are aware, there's like a genre of literature that is related, that we have called and given a designation of he's all his sweet.
Oh, look, it's safe. That's where he keeps all the sweet book author money. I knew it. He's loaded, dude. You could tell. You could tell by this floating golden duck that he's got just hovering. You know how much it costs to have a golden duck that just floats? There. Is it like less than zero gravity? Gold is really expensive, dude.
Book author money. Yeah, all $20 is in there.
That's it.
Yeah.
Actually,
Yeah, so there's a difference there between apocalyptic worldview and apocalyptic as a genre, which is a modern
What's up, John? How we doing, man?
designation put onto an ancient type of text that has features of that that worldview. That's important for people to know. So Revelation, Daniel, again, maybe part of Isaiah.
And Paul was also like an apocalyptic writer. Interesting. Is it? I mean, it's because they're waiting for the end of the world. That's like part of the worldview.
Some of Zechariah, some of Enoch. There's other apocalypse of Zephaniah. There's like all sorts of stuff. Yeah.
Exactly.
We have fragments and bigger pieces of other texts. Actually, in my undergrad, we look at a couple of them. Even in my first
The Canadian thing's taking a huge. It's like, everybody in the chat's like
Bible class. When I go to Revelation and talk about apocalyptic as a genre, I think it's Apocalypse of Zephaniah that I open up, and I read it, and I say, isn't that an interesting excerpt from the book of Revelation?
Yeah.
And they all go, what? Yeah, I guess so. And I go, that was not from Revelation. That was from a non-biblical book. Why am I doing this? Because you need to know this is a type of literature. And
oh, weird. So there's like other apocalyptic writings that are not even biblical. Huh. That's fascinating.
And that will, if you can understand what type of literature it is, it will help you read it. And it will help you not be irresponsible in how you read these things, because we all know
You got the massive water. God, you look like me in the past year. It's like, okay, here's the 7 waters, and here's my shot of McClellan's. That's right. And that's okay. Nope, just water from here on out. And then in about 45 minutes, I can have a second shot, and then 7 more water.
how much things like the book of Revelation get just abused left, right, and center when it comes to I think we're actually sorry, it was blurring out there for a sec, but anyways, yeah, how it gets abused in broad religious circles.
It's not uniquely biblical literature either.
No,
like that's the
yeah.
thing. We have examples. I talk a little bit about this in the book. The dynastic prophecy is a text from.
I don't. This must be Canadianness stuff. I don't. It was a goddamn. I understand the goddamn part. That's it, though. I don't understand the rest of this comment. It was a goddamn Edmonton Oilers fanboy. Yeah, I don't know what any of that means. So it's got to be a Canadianism. A Canadianism. That's what it is.
Babylon, which was written during the reign of Nabonidus.
So what's the name of it again? Say it again.
The dynastic prophecy.
I think I was just reading this the other day. Yeah. Okay, yeah.
So or during the reign of Nabonidus, or very shortly after, but presents and it's a rehearsal of the history of Babylon, again, from this perspective of things are terrible now, but we're reaching back into the distant past, into the old Babylonian kingdom, and then the Neo-Babylonian empire, but written from that perspective, like it's pseudo prophecy in the sense that the writer has situated himself in the distant past and is predicting all these things to come about.
That is so weird. Why would it's so strange that they did stuff like that, where they would just like put themselves into like ancient history and and then act like it was predicting stuff.
Alicer and Nebuchadnezzar and
oh, hockey. Oh, okay, so it is a Canadianism. Got it. Oh yeah, I was right. I was right about the Canadianismness. Yeah. Yeah, I said that. I actually did say it right.
Nabonidus, right?
So, do you
So
think that
surprised me.
I don't know if you argue this in the book. Do you think that the dynastic prophecy is itself apocalyptic as a piece of literature?
I think it's closely related. I'm not sure
because it doesn't have you could say it's not like apocalyptic literature as when I say like Zechariah. Yeah. Here are two lamps. Those lamps are actually.
No, you're
this.
right about that. With the so there's there's many pieces.
Yeah, they did a lot of that. They did a lot of. There's two lamps. One lamp represents the blah blah blah. The other lamp represents the man.
That go into this, right? Like, and I think that's part of that is like the wisdomantic piece that contributes to, the literature that comes out of the Persian period and the Hellenistic period, right? So this doesn't have that, but it's got this historical narrative component and this component of I would say like world history that is embedded within the apocalyptic texts. So
okay.
Sorry, I'm not very good at paying attention to the chat.
I'm also I haven't.
So
how you can see the chat? Like where the hell? Where do you have like a Batman computer back there somewhere with like a giant screen in the back where you can just see the chat?
Yeah, but if you guys have questions,
this dude is he's like, oh no, I can see it. I'm like reading the chat
or things. Feel free.
It's over
super chat
here.
Like actually, I was thinking I could set a super chat goal. Should I do that?
Why not? Yeah.
So, and I'll tell you what. If I can probably.
Oh, I didn't do a super chat goal. I guess I should probably do those at some point.
Do that from my phone here. But
I see Paul is here. Hey,
I'll
Paul.
step that up. Good to see you.
I sound like Valley Boys. Really? You'd be like, well, what are the boys? I just know the Valley Girls. Those are the ones I'm familiar with. I don't know. And as far as I understand, according to Saved by the Bell anyway, they're always like, cha, like totally, like so, yeah, like they're, because they were the Valley Girls, and Saved by the Bell was the Bayside. Their rival was Valley, right? And so you had the Valley Girls, and it was a whole thing. Anyway, it was very clever for the time.
Apologia.
We're
coming. Yeah, it's Apologia.
Apologia.
Oh, okay, 42. See what? Apologias there?
Did you say it wrong?
I don't know.
Everybody says it.
I don't know.
How did you say it?
Apologia.
See, well, I mean that's close. That's pretty close.
That's Apologia. What? No, did I say it?
It's like but the Greek would be.
I know that's the see. It's because you're a Greek dude. Guy.
Yeah. So explain that.
Because you're a Greek dude, man. Those fucking Greeks. They're always doing. Felt racist. I don't know.
I'll tell you what. Okay, so 10 super chats of teal and higher. And in the next, what time is it? It's 6 o'clock. So in the next hour, if we get 10 of those in the next hour, I will reveal what is inside the safe.
Whoa!
So
what?
and it's a surprise, guys. You can text your guesses.
It's an Indiana Jones-esque sort of thing. I know it. It says there's probably a golden head on like a little cylinder, but it's a rock cylinder, and you can't take it. You have to replace it with sand or something, probably.
And you can even super chat your guesses. But I guarantee you, Nobody's getting this right.
Yeah, what okay, because you're talking about the Valley Girl, the Valley Girls movie, and I was wondering, was that where the bit came from? Is that where the Valley Girl like whole thing came from that Saved by the Bell was like making fun of? Or is that just completely unrelated? Was it just Nikki and I were just like cycling through on one of the channels and we saw Valley Girl and we were like, oh, I asked that question. I was like, is that what they based the Valley Girl thing off of from Saved by the Bell? And she didn't know. So, if you do know, let me know.
Right. And I also guarantee you it's not boring. Okay.
My guess is it's severed teeth from all the people that he's destroyed in his scholarly debates.
Oh, the hockey. Oh, he went with debates. Okay. Just knocking people's teeth out. I don't think you're debating right, man. If you're knocking people's teeth out.
After they're dead, he just rips the teeth out.
Wow.
It's like, wow. No, I don't do that to people's faces or anything. Dental work's expensive. Even here in Canada, it's expensive. It's like the only place not covered by our free medical. Goddamn.
That's dark, Joel.
Yeah,
I gotta say,
yeah.
It's so I just noticed that the cup was sweating quite a bit. So it's not very wet, but I'm
Sir Equinox, how we doing? What's going on, dude?
Oh, my computer.
You're worried a little bit about your computer. Oh, it's
And Damien, how we doing? What's up?
Ooh, it's heading over there.
Yeah.
All right.
If you want to
Severed
towel,
Can you have severed teeth? I don't know if that's a thing.
then we could just, because I don't think I have anything handy here.
It's all good. Entertain the people.
Yes, I shall.
Juggle. Just do some juggling. We love it when people juggle. And if you can make it dangerous, that's even better. Light it on fire. Light pieces of metal that are sharp on fire and juggle those.
I shall look at some.
That'll do it.
We do have a super chat already.
No,
I
am.
So
Oh,
Brandon Renyon, thank you for the $5.
Oh, Brandon. Yeah, I knew it. Good old Brandon.
Said alternate title. This is for my book.
Yeah.
Hot Take Ba.
The Kipp Davis.
The Kipp Davis story.
I love.
How do you get those other? Is there like a secret keyboard that people have access to where you can like get to other languages and stuff? I see other people doing this all the time. How do you do this? How do you make like other languages and stuff in the chat?
The Kipp Davis story.
That's right. Thank you very much, Brandon. Oh, and look, the governor's on it. Do it, he says.
Oh, he's British, probably, governor. Yeah.
So, thanks very much.
That's a very American joke because that's, apparently British people. I've never heard a British person actually say it in real life, but they are supposed to say that a lot.
And I guess we'll see, right? Well, we'll see. We'll see how this goes. We'll see what happens. By the way, after the stream ends, I am sending everybody over to Toast to Toast over on Apologia's channel with Apologia and Dave.
We'll be done at about midnight, so
yeah,
so buckle up.
Which means we'll still be done before them.
Yeah,
right. Because they never stop streaming. They're just always be streaming. That's that on a Friday night.
ABS, that's we all know. That's the famous ABS.
I don't actually follow his channel. Sorry, I don't actually follow his channel, so I don't know that. But okay,
right.
It's good to know.
No,
you know what? Just because I said that live on stream, I'll follow you when I'm done.
What? You can activate separate language keyboards on your computer. What? Holy shit! I didn't.
He
know
doesn't
that.
mean it. He doesn't even.
And is ancient Hebrew one of them? Because that would be awesome.
We didn't watch anybody's stuff. He just doesn't.
Yeah, I'm busy. It's a busy life.
So
okay, so that's Kipp's book is
out.
So anyway, the book that we're supposed to be
out. Go buy it.
I would, for anyone again who's if we're in that elevator and you're between ETS and SBL and you love Bible and you love thinking a lot about Bible, that's
you love thinking. If you love thinking, you love the Bible. Just go get the book. Okay. It's really good.
That's his phrase, his catchphrase. I always tell people to not shy away from things that you don't agree with, and to just think about them. It's actually very important in becoming a critical thinker.
Just think about the stuff that you don't agree with. Just think right now. Go.
Because you want to think through ideas from the people who actually hold them, different ideas than what you might have. So it'd be a good book for anyone to check out that way. You don't have to agree with what he says.
Oh, he's talking about like, okay. It's funny too, because I think I have to read. I think the penis thing kind of threw me off. The cutting the grass and the giant space penis thing kind of like threw me off from being like, Mom, you want to read a book by a Bible scholar? It's like the first, she's gonna read that little bit and be like, nope, no, I don't even know what this has. What is the space penis? I don't even feel comfortable saying it because I'm a prude like that.
But he's a well-informed person, so he at least is worth giving the time to think about and to go through his ideas. So I actually haven't purchased a copy. Maybe I'll purchase one by the end of the stream. I think I'm going to purchase a copy.
You should.
And then I guess you don't have any here, probably, do you?
I don't, and there's a reason for that.
Yeah.
So because Amazon apparently had to make, so during COVID they had to do some changes, like with international shipping. Had to make all sorts of adjustments and changes because COVID was crazy, right? We all remember that. And when after things settled down, not everything went back to normal. There's some things, and one of those things is that the author copies that I can buy at cost, they don't ship to Canada. So,
rough.
Right? So I couldn't get any. I had to go through another supplier and pay more money, and I'm still waiting for them. I actually checked today, and they're in Toronto now.
Wow.
So I haven't even seen it. I haven't seen it.
That's wild.
There's a chance that
I think we both got our books at around the same time, right? Because you said you were going to get it in like a couple of days, and I got it just like, I want to say like a day ago. Like, yeah, I think like either a day or 2 days ago. I don't know. I just got it, but
many of you, some of you, a handful of you who have already purchased the book will get your copies before I ever get my hands on my copy.
That's funny.
Which is kind of crazy.
I feel like that's not unusual in academia.
That's possibly true.
It's not only in academia though. Really, like academics don't. They just it takes them forever to get their own books because of that damn the COVID rules at Amazon.
My book came out before I got author's copies. I think.
Did it?
I think so.
I got mine pretty quick. But you also published with Bro.
Yeah, I can't remember.
Yeah.
I might be wrong on that. Okay. I don't.
But you were way over here in North America.
Yeah.
See, I was
in America. Yeah, so that that changes things.
Norway. It was like right next door.
They
just literally
down the street.
walked over.
Yeah. Here you go.
Yeah.
That's so crazy.
Have your copy. So
it's in Norway. God, that's no fair. What the hell?
Yeah, that was good.
Okay. Yeah. So, anyways,
I want to go on one of those cruises. Have you seen those cruises? They're like a Viking cruise. I'm just worried there might be a bunch of white supremacists there. I don't know. I hear they're all about the Vikings, so a little nervous about that. But the cruises look great.
Kipp, the book is out. That's cool. How many years would you say? I know a book is like that is always like a culmination of much thought. How many years did you put into? Do you think since you started like initial draft of something related to this?
Probably 2. 2 years.
Okay.
But it's not so, because I'll tell you the story.
Those God-fearing we can't say that word on YouTube. I'll get demonetized. Okay, no slurs, buddy. Okay, what the? So, and then you're saying I hate them the most. Wow, it's super offensive, man. Okay, I don't know what you think you're doing here, but just saying slurs and then saying you hate those people. You need to, you're gonna make the mods have to really bring the hammer down. Or it's a wrench, but still, they're gonna have to bring the wrench down.
Told this story before. I don't know if I've told you this story before, but the story behind the book is that I used to teach a course called a second-year course called Israelite Religions at your school at Trinity Western University. And
just to be clear, I am faculty at Northwest College and Seminary. I am
sorry. My bad. You mean sorry. Sorry. That's how you have to say it. This
adjunct at Trinity and what is now becoming TEDS.
That's a story.
Yeah, that's a whole thing.
That's a whole thing.
Yeah.
But I taught that course.
Wait, did he say something about tits? Hold on. I didn't hear. Hold on.
Adjunct at Trinity and what is now becoming TEDS.
tits. You just say, and if you want to play with some tits, just go to adamandeve.com, enter code word Brindley at checkout to get 50% off almost anyone. They don't have like tits that like you'd have to, they'd be on a person that you'd be with, but you can have toys to like add to the fun. Never mind. But go to adamandeve.com, enter code word Brindley at checkout to get 50% off almost any one item. 6 free movies, 3 free gifts, and free shipping on the whole order. Go to adamandeve.com, enter that code word Brindley. Get your butt some stuff and smash that butt. The like button. So anyway, there we go.
That's a story.
Yeah, that's a whole thing.
That's a whole thing.
Yeah,
the tits are a whole thing. You know what I mean?
But I taught that course there for like 10 years.
Wow.
7, 8.
I'm
9,
so sad I missed that.
10
That would have
years.
been probably right when I was doing my master's. Would be the end probably.
Yeah.
Of that. Yeah.
So it was an undergrad class, right?
Oh
So
yeah,
second year.
Where?
Yeah.
So
I'm sure I would have liked it.
Yeah, I think
Drusilla, they're right there. Right? Look, no, not the no, your left. No, I'm sorry. My left. It did.
I think you would have liked it.
Yeah.
But my students, it was a popular class. I had a number of students who came over. I always got really good reviews on it. But
Amber said it's much better to grow your own. Then they're always with you.
I taught this course.
So,
I spent a lot of time just developing this course for like 10 years. And then when I stopped teaching, it just kind of sat there, and I ended up developing it then for the online platform through MVP courses. And when I went to do the filming for the course, I was talking to my good friend on the phone, Dr. Joshua Bowen.
Who?
You've heard of him, I think, haven't you? Dr. Josh, the bow tie Bible guy.
Oh,
bow tie, the Bible guy. It's he's going for a build, I think, but
I think right.
Is that Hank Hanegraaff?
bow tie the
Yeah,
Yeah.
that guy.
Dude, those videos are really good. He like has like the headpiece on, like he's getting calls and stuff, and then and then it's just like the one side of the conversation, which I love those kind of videos. I find them so funny because it's like there's so much room for humor in those.
Same guy, basically.
Okay. Yeah.
So I was talking to him on the phone, and I was telling him how
Dr. Josh. That's it. We just do first names around here. Okay. We the respect comes from the doctor, but we don't need last name. It's Dr. Josh. He's literally the only Dr. Josh we got.
I basically had to put, in order to do it for on camera, I had to turn everything from just like my point form notes into proper scripts.
Yeah.
I'm like, I have 120 pages of this stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's all well over 60,000 words. And he just said to me, he says, you're like 2/3 of the way to a book. You might as well just turn it into a book.
Yeah.
Right. I was like, that's a good idea. And I thought I could do this fast because I've basically written it all. And that was 2 years ago.
Yes, that is
Right.
fast in academia.
So
That's like lightning speed.
and it's
I've been writing a book for the past 10 years. So it's
and it ballooned from like 60,000 words to 200,000 words, because as I was writing it as well, in the intervening time since I did the course on MVP courses, I'm like, well, I've changed my thinking on some of these things. I want to provide some stronger nuance to some of these things. I want to make this more literarily entertaining because I don't have my visuals on hand. So all of that took work.
Totally. Yeah.
Yeah. And it was
not to
kind of
mention
a
if
new
you're saying
thing
like, oh,
too,
maybe
right?
someone published something recently, gotta
Yeah.
make sure update.
Yes. Exactly.
That's always the struggle.
That's always
That's the
struggle.
never ending.
you have to like run back. Hold on. Now somebody published something else. Damn it. Now I have to update. Oh my God.
Sisyphusian, is that the way to say it? I don't know. You're like Sisyphus. You're pushing the boulder up the hill forever and ever. That's just this life, and it's in some ways really terrible because you just constantly have to be on top of publications.
I don't know. I mean, in my mind, I tend to view Sisyphus as content, because he's a rebel, right? He's rebelling against reality by just pushing and and just put anyway, because the meaninglessness of life and our crave for meaning in a meaningless universe.
I have Google alerts. I don't know if you do. Google alerts that tell me when something comes on the internet for certain keywords.
They're very handy.
Yeah, and I just like every day I'll get 2 to 3 emails from Google a day sometimes saying,
Yeah,
and it's
right.
like, okay, and just quickly click
It's
through.
too hard to keep up with.
Quickly click
It
click
really
through.
is.
And
JJ said, I've never ever worn a bow tie. I feel like I haven't lived. You haven't lived until you've worn a bow tie. You know what I mean? Oh man, it makes you feel so cool.
like that's just me trying to maintain Septuagint,
Couldn't even say that with a straight face.
Pentateuch, Exodus.
That's a lot, dude.
Yeah, and that's basically
lot.
that's majority of it. And it's hard. It's hard to
That's
do.
a fuck ton.
Yeah.
So,
But anyways, that's awesome and amazing and a super huge accomplishment.
And I'm excited for you to rip it to shreds.
Yeah, I'm gonna do a 50-part series on my channel on why this is the worst book that's been written by the worst biblical scholar, quote unquote biblical scholar, and how we should have just hung it up at Trinity when it was done.
Probably should have.
Yeah, true. Although you know what? Now that I said it out loud, I might do a thing on my channel, a review.
Oh,
that would be fun.
That's so great. Wow.
Or we get another one of these. And
I know that. So one of the guys who watches my channel on a regular basis is already planning a review.
Oh, cool.
Of it. So which is cool. I'm excited about that. I got to read some of these.
Yeah,
because they're coming in. Lil says thanks for the $2, and she says there's the Dagon gets treats and so does Stool. Do you like dog treats? Dagon likes dog treats.
Like Dagon, the actual god.
Dagon, the abomination of the Philistines.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean
that's a god. Like Dagon's a god, a Philistine god.
Dagon and I.
That's cool. I don't know. I'm not up on Philistine gods, but
haven't really hung out.
That sounds like a great name though.
Or at least recently. So
I mean, he's in the other room.
Okay. Yeah. I kind of thought so. I got that vibe when I walked in the house.
He's my dog, dude.
I
know. Thanks, Lil. It's always good to see.
Wait, your dog's a god? I'm so confused.
A question for everybody: am I constantly going in a blurry vision? And like, am I being blurred? I just from where I'm sitting, it seems like that, but I'm not sure.
It's probably
yes, you are being blurred. Every time Kipp leans forward, the camera gets confused.
Probably because I've been moving.
Yep.
So
just
maybe
let me know.
You should move. Maybe
I can move forward a little bit,
and even if you go back a bit,
at the
that's
same,
probably better because it has to there.
And
And now
you need to get one of those lights that are like inside of a pyramid, a big white pyramid that's on a stand, and you got to have that in the corner. That really helps.
Well, I will try to sit still. That looks way better.
It's fine.
So, Chuck, one of my Hebrew students.
I cannot do that every time. Like, okay, don't move. Like every time I do a pre-record video, I'm like, okay, you can't move. So that way, if I have to edit, my face isn't jumping all over. And then as soon as I get done and I watch it back, I'm like blipping all over the place. Oh my God! Why I specifically said to sit still, and I'm like, I forgot. And I'm like, I'm you. What the hell are you doing?
By the way, thanks for the $5. Has asked, is it an Ammon medical kit? I think he means Ammon Hillman. My guess is Ammon Hillman. An Ammon Hillman medical kit in the safe. It is not. It has nothing to do with.
Are we playing 20 questions for the safe thing?
The burning purple. or medicines of any kind, actually.
Oh my God.
Okay.
So, that almond dude is psycho.
I've heard about the burning purple thing.
He always tries to talk like he's coming, Oh God. I can't, Bob. Oh, Bob. I just watched this debate with that Bob guy. So he said, look here, Bob. Bob, look.
And I don't know anymore, so I will not say anything more.
Okay. Thanks, Chuck. Brandon Runyon, thanks for the $2. How do we get a signed copy? That's more difficult, and I will work on that. The easiest thing to do is to encounter me in some way, if you can. The next time I'm traveling, I will be in Boston at SBL in November. So if anybody's in the area in November, I can sign copies when I'm there. I'm working on something. It's
Anarchic Fox said that's why I don't do streams. YouTube requires me to blur my face. That's offensive material. It's that bad, huh? Like, it looks like a penis. I don't know. It's not my. It's just my nose. You know, it's a very large nose, and it's just it has a tip. I don't know. It's a mushroom tip. It's really weird. I don't know. I don't know what happened to my nose.
like hellaciously expensive to buy, like to get, sign, and then ship signed copies themselves. So one of the things that I've
Yeah, it's like a whole process, dude.
heard a few people are doing, I know Dan McClellan is doing this, is buying like book plates and just signing those and mailing those out to people that you can stick in your books. So that's a thought that I have, but it's something I'm going to continue to think through and work on. But thanks for the question. Oh wow, look, Dave is here.
Oh my god,
dropping
$20
dimes.
Yeah, wow.
As Maya Atkinson would say. It's
This quote of Maya.
published author and refined man about town, Dr. Kipp. Thanks, Dave. Thanks, Dave. I can't wait for my copy of God's Propaganda to show up. Toast to Toast is a wonderful follow-up stream for people who are tired of thinking you make them do. Tired of all the thinking you make them do.
Oh,
That's true, because you guys
what? Okay. Tired of all the thinking. Got it. Oh yeah.
you guys just sit around follow-up stream
Because they don't do any thinking on the Toast to Toast show.
and crack jokes and play bingo and trivia.
Oh, I see. It's like coast to coast. That's cool. I get it. Okay.
Yeah. And
Clever.
so it's fun. It's
I'll give
a
them that.
fun stream.
Yeah.
We'll
Cool.
turn it on when
Sure,
we're
yeah.
done. And
Yeah.
it's good. Thanks, Dave. And yes, everybody, you make sure you head over there when we're done drinking and such.
When we're done getting wasted. All right, we've gone for like an hour. I wanted to promote Dr. Kipp's book here a bit, and so I thought it'd be fun to kind of watch them doing their stream there. But so hold on, there was one other one though that I wanted to check out. Which was it's funny because the show that I was just referring to where Amin Hillman like debated that Bob Larson guy, it was on, and then yes, we have a completely insane one that we have to do after this, but we're getting there, but I want to do this one first. So this is when Dr. Kipp was on the Danny Jones show, and this was the clip. We're not going through the whole stream of that one, but he clipped it out for us, so we got a section we can watch. It's about the Dead Sea.
You discover that's all not what happened. So there probably was no Moses. The Israelites probably did not come out of Egypt. In fact,
maybe it wasn't about that. Wait, what is it? Biblical story of the light doesn't believe in God. Oh, okay, never mind.
what we know now is that the Israelites, the people from whom the Old Testament, the
I'm sorry, I started in the middle. Hold on.
and that
A Christian or a practicing Christian. I
That's
think
two
he
now.
was. Oh, two. Wow. Awesome. You're number two.
So I'm number two. So the majority, I would say, are Christians or Jewish.
Talking about Bible scholars.
And I mean, this stands to reason, because the people who would have the most interest.
Okay, cool. Said thanks, Bradley. The ebook is now available for pre-order. All right, get your early copy. Hey, are you going to do? I meant to ask you this when you were on the show. Are you going to do an Audible version for me to half listen to when I'm at work, thinking about everything else, but also trying to pay attention to that, like I am with the Atheist Guide to the Old Testament? Like, are you doing that by any chance?
In these texts, in this literature,
Right. Would subscribe to the belief.
and that's where I started too.
Really?
Right. Yeah. I was originally planning to be a pastor
Oh,
at
wow.
a church. Didn't particularly like it very much. Had enough.
Dr. Kipp would have been Pastor Kipp, which doesn't have the same ring. You know what I mean? It's just not. It doesn't feel right coming off the tongue.
Affinity for the languages and the history.
No, it does feel good coming off the tongue. The products from AdamandEve.com. Enter code word Brentley at checkout to get 50% off almost any one item. 6 free movies, 3 free gifts, and free shipping on the whole order. God damn, that was seamless. Holy shit. That was phenomenal. Go to AdamandEve.com. Enter code word Brentley at checkout and get your butts and stuff and your tongue. Get your tongue and your butts. Don't think about that. Stop. Just stop. I shouldn't have said it in that order. That was unfortunate.
And over time, just kind of switched tracks. And then over more time, I just stopped believing the things that I believed when I was younger.
What do you think made you stop believing in it?
Hold on. I'm going to read this. So I was originally negotiating with Danny Jones and Amon Hillman to do a debate about the origins of the Old Testament on Danny's show. Holy shit. Hillman dropped out. He was on too many drugs and just dropped out. No, Hillman dropped out. Wouldn't do the debate. Danny instead brought me down to do the podcast interview. So this was supposed to be a debate between you and Dr. Hillman. God damn it. I would have loved to see that. That would have been fucking awesome.
That's a complicated question. And it's a variety of things. One of the things certainly is the fact, like,
you asked him why he's not a Christian.
When you go into the scholarship of the Bible, you quickly discover that it's a very different type of book than you thought it was, and that all the literature in there is quite different than you thought it was.
How so?
Well, you grow up thinking, or at least I grew up thinking, that Moses was a guy who
existed,
actually led a group of people out of Egypt into Israel, and then he crossed the Red Sea, and all this stuff actually happened. You learn things like this, right? Or that Daniel was actually a guy who was living in Babylon, and King Nebuchadnezzar actually put him in, a den full of lions.
The lion's den. Yeah, Daniel, I know that story.
These are the sorts of things that you can, lots of people.
But their mouths were closed. The lions' mouths were closed.
Are taught as having actually happened. You discover that's all, not what happened. So there probably was no Moses. The Israelites probably did not come out of Egypt. In fact, what we know now.
Kipp said, yes, probably there will be an audiobook. Hell yeah. All right, cool. Oh yeah, I'll be getting that too. That I will be recording the files as soon. Oh, you're reading it yourself. Oh, wow. You're brave. That seems like a very difficult thing to do. I'm just saying, straight up. But I'll be recording the files as soon as I get back from my secret holiday in an undisclosed location next week. Where are you going? Where's your holiday gonna be? No, we're halting the show now until you explain where you're going to be.
Now is that the Israelites, the people from whom the Old Testament, the text of the Hebrew Bible came, were Canaanites. There were people who were always there. And it's, the religions as it's presented in the Bible.
I think some of the people exist. Well, I mean, Dr. Kipp, I'm sure, can answer better than me. Giselle was asking, did any of them exist? I think some of them exist. Like, I feel like the Book of Kings, and I could be, and again, Dr. Kipp's way better at answering this than I am. But as far as I understand, that like First and Second Kings were like the most accurate books, as far as I understand, right? But again, could be mistaken. But I thought that was just like, because it's just kind of a historical record of the kings. But nope, secret. But yeah, but I like I said, I don't know. That's what I've heard anyway.
Is you get this impression that this was the way people worshiped God all the time. But then when you encounter the archaeological record and when you compare these texts to other ancient Near Eastern texts, you say, well, no. The people who wrote these biblical texts probably came out of a world that looked very much like all of their neighbors. So one of the things you think lots of people think when they encounter the Old Testament is that everyone was a monotheist. They all believe there's just one God, and all the other gods are fake
Monists.
So yeah, it's and that's just not true.
They're demons, man. Okay, one true God. If other gods, all demons.
The original writers of the Bible were polytheists. They believed in many gods. But the way the texts have been written, the way they present the situation, they're deeply they're deeply biased. They propagandize a lot.
There it is, propaganda. I was just gonna say propaganda. Yep.
This material, a lot of the texts were written, by people who were had their own political, religious agendas that they're trying to forward, and you start to see all this sort of stuff.
Okay, that's so funny because they were saying like whenever I think you said for sure there were a number of people spoken of in the Old Testament who were real people. Omri, Ahab, Ahaz, Jehoram, Hezekiah, Manasseh, Josiah, and Jehoiakim. I always think of when I was thinking, I think it was, is it Kings? Anyway, I always think of the story of Hezekiah. Oh no, Hezekiah's son, right? Manasseh, who was the youngest. He was like the youngest king, and he was said to be like the most evil king or whatever that had ever ruled in Israel or whatever. And and he ended up getting like dragged out of the of the place by their enemies by his nose, by hooks on his nose. It's like, and there was this book that I can't remember. Goddamn, I can't remember what it was, but it was like it was all about that, and it was a historical, not even a historical, it was a biblical fiction book, but it was like taken from the perspective of Manasseh growing up. Manasseh like started it out like pretty chill, but then he gets with this sorcerer, right? And this Jafar type dude is like confusing him and making him think that there's all these conspiracies out there, and he gets and it was really, it was really an interesting book. I can't think of what it was called, but I always thought that was such an interesting story of Manasseh, the evil king of Manasseh, who I think became good in the end, but I can't remember anyway.
And it starts to I guess raise questions. It started to raise questions for me about how much can I trust these texts, this Bible? What do I, in terms of it being
not so much. Can't trust it.
Something divine? No, it's not that. It's a very human book. So I think that's kind of where it started for me. It also makes, in my mind now, it makes the text actually quite a bit more interesting.
Oh my God. Now Dr. Kipp saying that Balaam was one of the people that actually existed. What about the donkey? Was the talking donkey? Was that were they written down in history too? Like, and his donkey, who is a very great conversationalist, by the way. Okay, he and I, we were kind of tearing it apart, just yucking it up with the donkey. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. Anyway, let's write this down. Can we get a historian in here to write this down? Yeah, the donkey, the whole donkey thing. Can we? Yeah, write that down. There you go.
Exciting, because you're dealing with real people, right, in real situations. But yeah, I don't know. It was that was a contributing factor, but there were, there's other things too.
Yeah, one of the things that seems so crazy to me, what our buddy Neil over there explained to me, was that I think it's like 900 or 1,000 years after Moses' death until we get actual writing about him.
Yeah,
which was what, the Septuagint?
Well, there's Greek writings that mention his name. And we were actually just talking about this yesterday. I personally think that you can see some reflections of this Moses figure a little earlier than that, not 1,000 years before that, but I think you can see some mention of him as early as maybe the 8th or the 7th century BC, which is still 500 years after he.
Isn't Numbers 22? Isn't that Balaam? Isn't that the story of Balaam? Am I wrong about that?
Supposedly.
What is
lived.
that? What are you referring to?
So there's a text. It's in the Bible. There's a text in the book of Hosea. This is a prophet who wrote probably in the 8th century BCE, and I can probably actually just bring it up here.
Yeah, give Kipp the wheel. There you go.
Okay, so we'll go to Amos 12. So this is a prophecy that scholars tend to date to the 8th century.
What
and here he's I'll just.
Are these like all the different translate? What is this? Okay, so we got the. Oh, it's like all the different versions. Oh yeah, Hebrew Bible tag. The DSS. The DSSB-C, which we all know what that is. I mean, it's very. I don't even really need to describe what that is because it's so clear to everybody what that is. You know, I totally know what that is.
Just get to
and this is
stuff where
this is from what text specifically?
So this is the book of Amos, which is in the Bible,
which was written when?
Sorry, not Amos, Hosea.
Hosea. and when was this text written?
Most scholars think 8th century. And the reason
I see how you got them mixed up, actually, I didn't even realize you did that.
We think that is because all of what
no, it said Amos to begin with, right? Oh shit,
Amos or all of what Hosea is talking about is the end of the kingdom of Israel in the north in 722 BCE.
Mm-hmm.
But he's writing before that has happened. Like he's writing to the people who are there. And telling them, you know, you're in great danger because the Assyrians are coming to kill you.
Mm-hmm.
You need to make all these dramatic changes because God is angry at you.
Right.
And if you don't, then the Assyrians are going to come and destroy you. And that's something that eventually happened, right? But this is all written prior, you know, beforehand. So in this text, though, he does talk a little bit about
can you zoom in a little bit?
I probably can. Let me get to the right. Oh no, that's why I'm an Amos. This is my own translation.
Okay.
Of the text. Let's go there. Nice and big. All right. So here.
That's gorgeous.
Yeah. So
beautiful. I was gonna say gorgeous as well, but I'll go with beautiful.
Now where it says Ephraim here. So Ephraim has said, this is speaking to the people who live in the city of Samaria.
Okay.
Sometime before 722 BCE. So this is before the Assyrians are coming to kill them all, right? So and Hosea, the prophet, is speaking to them and telling them, you know, you have fucked up. And because of that, the Assyrians are coming to kill you. You need to fix this. You need to change your ways. Otherwise, you're all going to be dead. And here this is what he says. He says, so Ephraim has said, yes, I am rich. I've sought power for
shit. Kipp said, this is from the book. Hell yeah.
For myself. All of my property they cannot hold against me for wrongdoing, which is sin. Now, Hosea is speaking as if he's God. I, Yahweh, am your God. Ever since the land of Egypt, I will settle you once again in tents, as in the days of old, when I spoke to prophets, when I increased visions, parables by the hands of prophets. But in Gilead is iniquity, and they are utterly worthless. So you have here, you have mention of this exit from Egypt. These people came out of Egypt ever since the land of Egypt. They were settling, they were living in tents ever since the days of old when I spoke to prophets, when I increased visions. Let me just.
Which was, you know, after they left, that was when Balaam was doing his thing, you know, and he was getting hired to do cursing.
Just look here at.
He's a curse guy. That's what he is.
Do I have another? There's another part of this.
So
Here we go.
so this is basically what
Damn, you translated all those yourself. God damn, dude.
academia or the consensus is that this is he's talking about something that's happening in like 3000 BC.
No, 8th century BCE.
8th century. Okay,
So
800.
so
Got it.
So yeah, like
That's 800 years before when the era was common.
sometime before 722 BC.
So much closer to the death of Moses.
Closer, but and again, importantly, scholars by and large don't think that there was a Moses. They think that this guy was certainly,
Really?
yeah. I would,
He was fucked up for that. What? There was a whole movie made about that guy, man.
Religious scholars?
well, I can just scrolling down towards the end. He goes on to say, I think this part is quite
The
interesting.
internet.
By a prophet.
Did it break? Did it break? I bumped the internet. I don't know if it stopped. Oh, why did it do this? All right. There we go.
Yahweh brought Israel up from Egypt. By a prophet, he was kept. So scholars look at that and think, well, that's probably an early reference to this Moses figure. But I think it's really interesting
Second strike, Raymer. Okay. Second strike. All right.
because he's not
You only get 4 more. Okay, Raymer. I don't know what you think.
named. It doesn't call him Moses.
Right.
So when I look at this, I think, this Moses tradition, wherever it came from, he probably didn't have the name Moses to start. And it probably looked quite a bit different than the story that ended up surviving and being told in, the book of Exodus. So it's I would say that it's something that you can trace maybe as far, I would say the earliest you can trace it as far back is probably like the 8th century.
Okay, but biologically, how early can we trace it?
Biologically,
the actual text,
the actual manuscripts, the actual artifacts themselves.
Yeah.
No, not until the 3rd century BCE. So, and
and it's in what language?
That would be in Greek, I
In
believe.
Greek.
And we do have,
We're on a 6-strike system. I feel like this is why am I even having to explain? Like, y'all know the system, the 6-strike system. What Kevin, you didn't explain that shit to everybody? Kevin, oh my God. I have to apologize on behalf of Kevin.
Hebrew manuscripts from the same period of time as
We do.
where you will find the name Moses. Yeah.
Hebrew manuscripts, and that's Dead Sea Scrolls?
Yep.
Okay.
Within the Dead Sea Scrolls.
Wow.
So, yeah. And this is it's frustrating on the one hand because you can't get the actual artifacts themselves, right? Like you can't get the physical evidence for the stuff that's being reported. But by the same token, a lot of this stuff didn't just appear out of thin air. These were traditions that people kept and transmitted over longer periods of time, and I think changed and were reshaped.
So the idea is this was probably, you believe, found whenever it was found, it was dated back to 300 BC, probably.
Yeah.
And it was a rewriting or a retelling of a story that happened around 800.
Yeah, probably.
No shit. That's so wild. But I mean, it makes sense. Like, honestly, taking a lot of these stories and stuff and like rehashing them and stuff makes good sense. It's not, and again, it's not like it's copied or anything like that. It's like it developed. It like developed from one culture to another. Right. I mean, but no, that's awesome. Oh yeah, that's fascinating. That's so cool too. Man, I wish dipshit would have showed up for the debate, man. That's so fucking kind of frustrating. He never did. All right. All right. Now we're gonna do. Now, since we've been like, very intellectual here, we're gonna have to get. We gotta even it out. Okay, with some serious stupid. Holy shit. So that's what this is.
They'll go to the kingdom.
I don't know if you know this, but Steve-O of Jackass has a barber. Now, his barber is a clown, but he's not just any clown. He is a pastor clown that also supports getting demons out of people and claims that demons were gotten out of him. So there we go. And this is a message to Steve-O.
Okay? And when you do drugs, you open those doors and demons enter the drugs. Okay? So
Okay.
you don't want to believe in it. But these demons, I got demons cast out of me. You know?
Oh, there it is. Look, it's like, I got demons cast out of me. Look. he's got the clown like hair. Oh my god. This dude is not well. I feel like the demons are still in there, dude. You're not, I don't think you're getting those out. They're permanent. I feel like these are permanent demons at this point. But he's got the Jesus shirt on. A vest, but from a suit, and then he's got bondage pants on and a 3-row. And a 3-row pyramid belt. What the fuck is going on?
And that, dude, they're real. They're really real. You know?
They're really extra hardcore real. Like, they're more real than real stuff is real.
And you call me crazy all you want.
Oh, yeah, we will. We will. We are. I am. And we'll continue to.
Oh, you're Richard and Baba. He's a crazy guy. He's
I don't sound like that. Okay, you need to make your impression sound cooler.
Demons. Everything's demonic. Everything's demons. Well,
You literally say that everything is demonic. It's almost a joke at this point.
dude, what are we just talking about right now? A woman just severed her boyfriend's head and sucked him off. Is that not demonic enough?
There's a pastor, everybody. And if you want to be sucked off, but minus the severed head portion of that whole whatever the hell that was, go to adamandeve.com, enter code word Brentley at checkout to get 50% off almost any one item. 6 free movies, 3 free gifts, and free shipping on the whole order. adamandeve.com, enter code word Brentley. There we go. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, that felt right.
You know what I mean? There's crazy demonic stuff.
God, I love the pageantry for the demon slaying, where they gotta be like, no, I need to do my 2 fingers. No, am I doing? Hold on, I gotta get my fingers just right. Hold on, wait, no, there's a way. It's like, what do we say? 4 inches apart. Okay, now there we go. Now that's very official.
It's everywhere. Demons are real. You got demons.
Dude, why do you keep having to repeat that it's real if it's real, man? That's not something that you have to do. Real shit is just real. You don't have to say anything about it.
But Jesus Christ loves. And yes, he did die on the cross for all of our sins so that we can have eternal life and freedom. He would sacrifice himself so that we can
Deviant outcast. How we doing, man? What's going on? So that's what I'm wondering too. It's a kind of sad it's a kind of sad mentally that guy's showing us here. What?
We can go to heaven. We have to choose him. You have free will. And yes, but it's not like you live your life and do whatever the hell you want. And then at that death time, you say, oh, Jesus, forgive me. Yes, there's a story when Jesus was on the cross and a man to his left said,
yes, somebody did do that, but that's not, you're not supposed to, that's not what that story's about. Okay. That story is just how chill Jesus is, even when he's dying. He's like, it's cool. I'll save you, bro. That's what that was about. That's not saying that that's how you should do it.
can I go to paradise with you? And he said, yes. you will go to the kingdom of paradise with me. I'm just paraphrasing, but we talked about that in the last show.
Are you paradise paraphrasing?
Okay. It's not, we don't know when we're going to die. We don't know. Okay. We don't know if we die anytime. Right. But he says, choose.
Mentality. Got it. Okay.
He loves us. Jesus is love. Jesus is pure love. God created love. God created everything. He is love.
He is love, but he also created love. Did he create himself? What?
And there are dark forces and demons, and they convince us. They lie to us. They lie to everybody.
They're dark forces and demons, both.
They want you
and they lie and stuff. They're just, out telling. They're fibbers.
I believe in Jesus Christ. So you're like, oh, where do those people go? Are they all in hell? Because Jesus wasn't here. Jesus wasn't born yet. Who's here on the earth?
Who are you asking questions to be like? They're like, I'm so confused by this. Like, you say, and then you're like, what? No, I didn't say that. I don't think anybody did, but okay, we're gonna go with whatever you think we're supposed to be asking from what you just said.
But God was speaking to people, and God had many prophets, and God spoke to people, and God did, or people did what God said. And there's stories in the Holy Bible about Moses and Noah. There's many stories before
What
Jesus
the
Christ.
Fuck kind of Bible is that?
Yeah, you don't know.
Where the hell did you get that? That's like what you get. That's like your grandma's Bible that she tells you not to touch it because it's an antique, and she got it from Italy in like 1946.
I did, or people did what God said.
I want to see it
in the
again.
Holy
Hold
Bible
on.
about Moses. And
There it is. Look, yeah, dude.
Noah.
That's like an antique. That's an antique Bible. That's like the kind you buy in Rome.
Many stories before Jesus Christ. And yeah, you don't know a lot of stuff. It's okay. But what I'm saying is, Jesus is calling you. And by you speaking about this, I see a lot of hurt.
I wonder if they trade with those like workout squeeze thingies like that you squeeze, but just for your finger with the mini versions for just for your two fingers. But no, I got to get these fingers strengthened up. Okay, that way I can actually do the 3 inches apart, which that is the official, it's 3 inches apart. And, got to put it right in the demon area, which is in the solar plexus. Got to make sure not to push too hard because that you're going to make them throw up, because you don't want to push too hard on their solar plexus because that's, that's actually a Tai Chi move, not Tai Chi, but something else that's similar to Tai Chi, but that is actually violent.
But Jesus Christ is a healer.
Messed up. And I said all the wrong stuff.
And all your feelings that you have a lot of trauma. There is a lot of trauma, a lot of rejection.
Who are you talking? Are you talking about yourself? You're talking about yourself now. It's like there is a lot of trauma. There's just trauma. I am just basically one big human trauma. I'm if trauma grew into a human and then, decided to tattoo themselves into a clown because of all the trauma. That's why. There's
a lot. There's a lot of hurt. You've had a lot of rejection. I definitely relate to you, Steve-O. I definitely.
Oh, that's right. He's talking to Steve. Are they like actually having a conversation here, or like what's going on?
Relate to you. I modify my body. I've messed my body up like crazy. I've done a lot of things. I
know you're a clown right now, dude. You made a decision to tattoo yourself in the weirdest way possible.
Not as much as you. You've done
like fucking Cokie the clown over here.
I mean, you do a lot of things, but
he does do a lot of things. Yeah.
We've all done a lot of things.
We all have. There's a number of things that is large that we have all done. That is true.
You've done a lot of drugs. I've done a lot of drugs. But listen.
What? But it's like you've done a lot of drugs. I've done a lot of drugs. Everybody's done a lot of drugs. Okay. Have you seen Woodstock? Those people did a lot of drugs. You know what I mean?
Recovering alcoholics and drug addicts. Jesus Christ can set you free. Let's see what the Bible has to say about this.
What about what? Drugs?
So, Steve, to the answer to your questions, I'm going to use scriptures. So I hope this helps.
He literally thinks Steve-O is going to watch this. Because, he popularized, he got, kind of popular because of his relationship with Steve-O from Jackass. So like this, so I think anytime he puts his name out there, it's gonna, because I hadn't seen, honestly, and I watched a ton of this guy back, I don't know, a year ago, something like that. And then nothing came up. It was just done. Like he didn't come up in my feed at all. Then all of a sudden, this video comes up, right? It's like, Steve-O, this is for you. So I almost wonder if he's doing this just to get like views or whatever, because nothing else is working.
Why is Jesus the ultimate sacrifice for everyone's sin?
Because it's kind of funny that this dude, it's like he did exactly the wrong thing. You know, it's kind of hilarious because, you know, he's too much of a rocker, whatever looking dude, clown person to be a Christian, and too much of a Christian to get in with any of the like, you know, face tattoo rocker dudes. So it's like he's just kind of shot himself in the foot with his whole look and what he thinks at the same time. It's amazing.
Okay, the Bible prophecy spoke of the Messiah coming in the Old Testament. Isaiah 53, and Jesus, the Son of God, came in the flesh. John 1:14.
It's absolutely not about Jesus, but okay.
And the Word became flesh and dwelt among us, and we beheld his glory, the glory as of the only begotten of the Father, full of grace and truth.
Cool, man. Damn, that's impactful right there. That's some serious stuff.
God the Father gave his Son Jesus, who was without sin, to be sin.
Yeah, Steve-O is the Jackass guy. You know, you remember the one from the movies and everything? Steve-O, he has himself tattooed on his back. You know, Steve-O, you know,
for us. 2 Corinthians 5:21, for he made him who knew no sin to be sin for us, that we might become the righteous of God in him. Jesus was the ultimate sacrifice, but never sinned. Because of his sacrifice, there is no more reason to sacrifice animals before Jesus. His sin was covered but not washed away, so people still would make it to heaven. Hebrews 12:14. But this man, after he had offered one...
This music, dude. Can we get some harp strings back there? I really want Steve-O to feel. I want him to feel like the emotions of these words as they say. And then it's so funny the way that like the reaction that like Christians have to the words in their holy books versus the reactions that like non-Christians have to like the words in their holy book. They'll put like these strings and stuff behind it to make it like it's so beautiful. But it's like if you're not, if you haven't been like brainwashed into believing that like, you know, torture, murder is beautiful and everything, it's not beautiful. Like none of us think it's beautiful. It doesn't feel like, you know what I mean? It just feels like the music doesn't know what the hell's happening on the screen. That's what it feels like.
Sacrifice for sins forever, sat down at the right hand of God. From that time, waiting till his enemies are made his footstool. For by one offering, he has perfected forever those who are being sacrificed. Jesus is the only way to God the Father. John 14:6. Jesus says, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me.
That one got Steve-O. Steve-O's like, man, I got to be a Christian now because of this. Jesus said that he is the one way and nobody gets to his Father, which is something apparently I'm supposed to want to do, I guess.
So good people don't go to heaven. You can be good all you want. What is good?
Good people don't go to.
You're not following.
Did he just actually say that? So good people don't go to heaven. Only dicks.
Good people don't go to. Good people don't go to heaven.
Good people don't go to heaven. Yeah, your religion's like morality does not make any goddamn sense. You're just like, good people don't go to heaven. Well, then what the fuck is the point of heaven, man? You know, it's so just all the bad people can go there as long as they say they're sorry.
You can be good all you want. What is good? Right? You're not.
What do you mean? Like, what is good? Really? Not being a dick.
Following the Holy Bible or what Jesus wants from you. That's not. It's only your preference of what good is. Who are you listening to? You know, the only way to eternal life is the
What? Hold on. I gotta go back and hear that again. What?
Good people don't go to heaven.
Good people don't go to heaven?
You can be good all you want. What is good? Right? You're not following the Holy Bible or what Jesus wants from you. That's not. It's only your preference of what good is.
If you're not, hold on. He said, if you're not following what God, like what Jesus wants you to do, then it's just whatever you think good is. You know? It's like, okay.
Who are you listening to? You know?
Who you're listening to? What?
The only way to eternal life is the Father. That's Jesus Christ. No false God.
Oh, Jesus Christ, the Son, dude. God, but Yahweh is the Father, man. You don't even know your own religion.
There's a lot of false gods out there, but who gets persecuted the most? Who has most power when you say His name? Jesus Christ. What do you?
What? Have we tested this? Is this something that, like, you know? And which one of the gods has the most power when you say His name? Huh? Yeah, that's what I thought. What? That's like as if Steve is supposed to be like, yeah, that is true. You're right. Jesus does have the most power when you say His name. I can feel it. It's like an electric shock when I say His name, but nothing when I say Muhammad or Allah or anything.
Hear His name, just by His name. People manifest. People, they feel it. They don't like it when you speak about Jesus Christ. Because
people manifest. God, it's so funny the way they do this. They're like, if you don't like that they're talking about Jesus, you know, then that's because of a demon. You're manifesting a demon. If somebody's like, okay, can you just shut up about the Jesus thing? Oh, you don't want to hear me talk about Jesus. I wonder why. Demon. You're a demon. That's why. Your demons are manifesting, bro.
He has the power to pierce through any demon.
We got to hear that again. What?
They feel it. They don't like it. When
power to Jesus
Christ. Because He has the power to pierce through any demon. He has the power to heal anyone.
He's got the power to pierce through any demons.
He can bring back the dead. You all think Jesus Christ is the truth.
Giselle, it's like this demon slayer clown guy is trying to convince Steve-O from Jackass to be a Christian. Obviously. I mean, what else? You know, like most videos on YouTube at this
point. The way end of life. Come on.
Come on. Come on, what? What are you talking about? And if you want to come on, somebody, just go to adamandeve.com. Enter code word. Okay, we've done too many ads. I've reached my limit on the ads, I think.
Does Jesus' sacrifice mean that we can do whatever we want? God loves us.
Oh, he lost track. Now he has to, like, hold on. I'm way off of my outline here. I need to, hold on. Let me get back to my outline. There we go. Okay.
Belongs for us, but we have free will. Romans 2:4.
Oh my God.
Or do you despise the riches of His goodness?
Does Jesus' sacrifice mean we can do whatever we want? Kinda. You can just say you're sorry.
Forbearance and long suffering, not knowing that the goodness of God leads you to repentance. 1 John 1:19. If we confess our sins with our mouth, He is faithful and just to forgive us our sins and to cleanse us from all righteousness.
Unrighteous. Oh my God, this guy's painful. He is painful to watch. All right, geez Louise. All right, Joe. I actually had something kind of come up just now, but so we'll continue with this guy and maybe do a couple more tomorrow when we reconvene. Okay, but sorry, I got to cut it a little bit short. But I have something come up. But and if you want to come up, that's it. Just if you want to come up, go to adamandeve.com. Enter code word Brentley at checkout to get 50% off almost any one item. 6 free movies, 3 free gifts, and free shipping on the whole order. Go to adamandeve.com. Enter that code word Brentley. That's right. And if you want to support the show, you can support us by supporting our sponsor, adamandeve.com, or you can do all this crap, right? You know, and there's a lot there that you can do, becoming a patron, you know, I'm not going to read it all because I got to go. But you should do all that stuff. But the main thing is to stay logical, loving, skeptical, and compassionate. And we will see you next time.